UFC Road to Shanghai takes place on Friday, and we're going to break down every fight on this card, starting with Yoon Jang versus Kitt Campbell. I'll let you start with this one.
Alright, so I'm going to go with Jang, sorry. Yoon Sung Jang, I can't even say the words. Yoon, I think he just has a better record than Campbell. And Campbell's lost to a lot worse guys than Yoon, so I'm going to go Yoon. I just think he's a better fighter, he has a better record, and that's all I can go off in this fight. So I'm going to say, if I'm going to pick a method of victory, I'm going to go Yoon by KO.
Yeah, no, I'm also thinking Yoon Sung Jang's going to win this one because, well, there's a few things. They both have padded records, but I kind of understand it from Yoon Sung Jang because he's quite early on in his career. He's only 22 years old. And his only loss comes to this French guy that's like 10-0. And he lost by decision, so I don't actually mind that at all. Especially because it was like very early in his career as well. So, yeah, I'm going to go Yoon Sung Jang to win this one by probably decision. I could see a TKO, decision or TKO, so one of those two. So we're both off with Jang. We'll go on to the next one.
Yeah.
Aaron Toe versus Shuai Yin, the Black Panther. I'm going to go Aaron Toe in this one because I just think he's going to be better than Yun Shai Jin. Or Shai Jin, yeah. Yin's lost to a lot of questionable people. That's basically what it comes down to. And he's kind of showed that he's not at the level of Tao. Tao's only losses to Elijah Smith in a competitive fight, so it's not bad at all. And the last guy he fought in the last round of the tournament he basically just killed him in like a minute, so I'll go with Toe in this one. Yeah. Surprised it's even close odds, but yeah, I'll let you go now.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's close odds as well, because I think Tao definitely wins this one. I think at the end of the day, I'm a big fan of Elias Smith, and he definitely gave Elias Smith his hardest fight of his career, so I'm picking Tao. I'm picking Tao by KO, to be honest. I think there's going to be a big skill gap in this fight. And Tao's tough as well, so even if it is a war, he's not going to get finished. So, yeah, I think Tao wins this fight. I just think he's beating better people than Yin, to be honest, Tao. I think he has beaten better people, and I think he will again here. And as I say, I think it'll be knockout, and I think it'll probably be early as well.
Yeah. The thing is with Toe, like, he's quite short, so like he can put a lot of muscle on his body for the flyweight division. And he uses it in his fight, so yeah, I'll go Toe as well by finish 100%. In the first half of the fight.
Okay.
On to Lawrence Louis versus Van Y Nghiem. I'll let you start with this one.
Now this one's a bit of a closer one for me, because I won't be shocked if Van Y Nghiem gets a knockout, but I'm picking Louis. I just think Van is more dangerous than Louis probably, but I think Louis is a bit more technical, can probably win by KO or decision. And at the end of the day, obviously there's not much to go off in this fight, and Lawrence Louis' one loss is much better than Van's one loss, so I'm going to go Louis. I just think he's a bit more skilled, but I won't be shocked if Van gets a knockout because he does have a lot of power, and there's a lot of knockouts in his career, so won't be shocked if that happens, but I'm going to say Louis just because I think he's a bit more technically sound. So,
yeah, I'm also off with Louis here. I think he's only got one loss in his career, first of all, and like the guy doesn't look awful. He doesn't look great either, but it's one of those. He's young in his career still, 6-1. It's fair enough to have that loss. I mean, Nghem's his loss is not too bad either. I mean, I swear it wasn't actually that good either, actually. Let me have a look at this one. Yeah, no, this is the reason I'm off with Louis. I just think Louis' loss is a lot more respectable than Nghem's loss. And Louis also is a lot more of a technical fighter as well, and he fights out of City Kickboxing, which is a very respected gym with Israel Adesanya and France, and also Toe, who's fighting on this card as well. So, yeah, I'll go with Lawrence Louis by decision in this fight. I'm assuming you went with the same, haven't you? Or You said TKO or decision.
I put KO or decision, but I would lean decision more than anything.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards decision in this fight. So we'll move on to Shang Min Yoon versus Sebastian Szalay. Now, I'm not too big of a fan of Sebastian myself because he's a bit of a boring fighter. But saying that, I do think he's going to be able to use that boring style to win a decision against Chang Min Yoon, because I just think Chang Min Yoon's a bit one and done with what he does, and I think Sebastian's going to be able to just pick apart his jab at range and just carry his way to a decision win. Probably at 2-1. Maybe 3-0. We'll see. What about you?
Well, I know it's a big underdog, but I'm going Yoon. Maybe this is more because I hate Szalay, I don't know, but I just think Yoon, I always like to pick the fighter with a lot more like finishing potential, right? I know he's a big underdog, but I'm just not convinced with Szalay. I'm really not. I think he can easily low rounds. I think he's just a boring hugger, and I think Yoon, as long as he breaks from the clinch and uses his strikes, then I think he can knock him out or win a decision. I just don't rate Szalay. I don't think his fight style should even get points. He does nothing in the clinch. He just hugs against the cage. So give me Yoon by knockout, and I hope that happens.
But we know that that's not how this works. You're allowed to hug against the cage.
I know, but I think it is very live because I think I think Szala's actual defensive striking when it's out of the clinch is not good at all.
Yeah,
so I think it's live. So.
He is pretty shit, but I just think he might just do enough. Maybe. I mean, I could easily see him.
There is a reason it's a big favourite, I guess. But
I don't think it should be as big of a favourite.
I don't agree with it.
I think it should be like a -150 maybe at most. But
yeah,
close fight. I'm off with Sebastian by decision. You're off with Yoon by knockout.
Yeah.
Go on to the next one. I'll let you start this one.
Is it the Donmath? Oh no, sorry,
This is the 20-year-old versus
Agulali versus Namsrai. I want to say, right?
Yeah.
Is that how I'm saying
Sure.
that? Namsrai?
Sure. Yeah.
Obviously, I want to say Agulali had the impressive finish, right? Last time on the road to China against the Indian guy.
Yeah.
Very quickly. And he's only 20 years old. I'm very impressed by Agulali, but this is the hardest fight of his career for sure. Namsrai isn't bad. And Namsrai has never seen a scorecard in his career as well, so I don't think this fight's going the distance. Neither of them ever really see the scorecard. I don't think it's going the distance. I think it's going to be a bit of a war, but I think it's a war where the 20-year-old Agulali gets the knockout.
Yeah.
Or the sub. You can get either. I'm just going to go Agulali by finish. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I think Agulali by finish as well in the first half of the fight. And I just don't trust the other guy's age. He says he's 24, but I guess Mongolians just age faster than the average human, maybe.
They do. I think they are just old-looking people, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I am off with Agulali to win this within the first half of the fight. I think he's the real deal. I really do. I think he's one of the bigger prospects in the come-up right now. And if he gets through this tournament, then I'm very excited to see what he does in the flyweight division. It could be interesting.
Yeah, no, same. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll go Agulali. On to the next fight. The Street Buddha versus Jae Hyun Park. Now, I'm off for the Street Buddha in this fight. There's not much behind this, really. He's lost twice in his career, both of them to someone who's won in the UFC, Quinlan. We'll just call him Quinlan. And when you're only losing to one guy in your whole career, and you're from Australia, decent training partners, he's come out with some, fairly respectable record wins. They're both padded. Most people on this card are padded, but I'm trusting the guy that has only lost to a UFC level guy. And Jae Hyun Park, I can say he's lost to more than that. So, what about you?
Well, I'm kind of just following the exact same reasoning here. I mean, there's not much to go off in this one either, to be honest. But Don Marfan, I've gone for a win by decision. I just think, like you said, he's only lost. Well, the only person he's ever lost to is Quinlan Salkeld, or Salkeld, however you really say
Yeah.
that. But I'm not really a big fan of Quinlan. Not gonna lie, not really a huge on him. I thought Ashmouz actually did all right against him. I think it was like a 2-1 decision, wasn't it, or something in the end. But
Yeah, it was close.
yeah, I don't think Quinlan's great, but we're talking about this level where Donmar fans only lost to him, and Jae Hyun Park's lost to much worse guys than Quinlan, right? So, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say Donmar fan by decision. He does have a lot of finishes, but I think Jae Hyun Park is gonna be a little bit tricky. So I think he's gonna just win a decision here.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it'll be a competitive decision win for Don Fan, the street butter.
Yeah.
We'll go on to the next one. Sulangrangbo versus Sim Kai Xiong. I'll let you start this one.
The pick is going to be Sulangrangbo. Reasoning is, I think he's, I've already said this is reasoning for a couple of fights before this, but he's just a more dangerous and live for a finish kind of fighter. He's on good form, and I think he's just going to knock out Jang here. I think he's going to knock him out. It is a close fight, could go either way, don't get me wrong, but when it's a close fight and someone's got clearly more finishing potential than the other, I'm going to be picking Sulangrangbo, just because I think there's more pass for him to win this fight than there is for Jang. So, give me Sulangrangbo by knockout. That's my prediction for this one.
I'm off with Sim Kai Xiong in this fight. It's one of those where there's not much to go off really, and I'm going to trust in the brains of Sim Kai Xiong. Seems like a smart guy. He trains out of an MMA gym. The other guy trains out of a fight club. So I'm going to assume Sim Kai Xiong is going to find his way in the grappler in this fight, and he's going to get a submission. That's how I see this one going. But again, I'm not confident in this one. He is from Singapore, and I don't really see many Singapore talent rising up through the rankings. So
Yeah.
bit of a tricky one this, but we went against each other. Go on to the next fight.
Yeah.
Yawei Ren versus the Frogman. No. I am off with the Frogman in this fight. I believe he's just the better overall fighter. And he's tougher. And the eye test is telling me he's going to win as well. He looks like more of a fighter. The other guys, he looks soy, if we're putting it straight. So, I think he's a better fighter. I think he's less soy. And I think he's just looks like more of a fighter. What about you?
Well, I've joined you here. I've went for the Frogman. I think Sang Kim is just. I looked into it. I looked into both their careers, and I much prefer Sang Kim's competition to Yawei Ren's competition.
Yeah.
I think Sang Kim's been fighting a level above Yawei Ren for a while, and at the end of the day, what I do love about Sang Kim in this fight is that in his career he's won via knockout many times, via sub many times, via decision many times, right? So he can win multiple ways, which I do love in a fighter, because obviously it gives you more paths, it gives you more ways to win. So I'm picking him because, like you said, I think he's a better fighter. He's a bit more all-rounded. It's just a bit more of a mixed martial artist than Yawei Ren is. So give me Sang Kim to mix up well and get the decision win, probably. Yeah. Or maybe even a finish.
Yeah, I agree. The Frogman will get this one done. And it's actually a pick 'em, so it's not as obvious as it seems, I guess, but I'm off with the Frogman. Go on to the future fight, the last tournament fight of the card. Kaiwen versus Nakamura. I'll let you go first on this one.
Well, this is a tough one, right? Because Nakamura is a bit unexperienced compared to Kaiwen Louis, right? He's a bit more unexperienced. He's had not many fights. He's only 6-1, but he has had an amateur career as well, where he won most of his fights. I believe he was in one, but it was to an undefeated fighter. So I'm actually going to go with the inexperienced Nakamura here. At the end of the day, he was a plus 300 dog, I think, in his first Road to the China fight. Oh, sorry, Road to UFC in China. And he got obviously a vicious knee knockout, easily the best knockout of the night. It was brutal. Guy had to go to hospital and that. and I just think he looked good in that fight even before the knee. And at the end of the day, Kaiwen Louis he's been knocked out in half of his losses, right? He's lost 6 times, been knocked out 3 of those times. And Nakamura is a knockout specialist. He's won all his fights by knockout. So I've just put 1 and 1 together here, and I think Nakamura gets the knockout. I think Kaiwen Louis is just a bit too chinny for the power of Kaiwen Louis.
Yeah.
Sorry, for the power of Nakamura. I think Kaiwen Louis is a bit too chinny.
I was on the Kaiwen Lee train for a decent amount of time until I thought about it a little bit more, and I'm now on the Nakamura train. I think Nakamura does get the knockout. I don't know. I think that's the only way I see him getting it done, though. Really, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he has only ever won by knockout, so.
Yeah, no, I think he gets the knockout in this fight, and I think he makes a statement. Though saying that, Kaiwen Lee, I can definitely see him winning this on decision if he don't find a knockout. So, but I do think there's definitely more chance that Nakamura.
I just don't
gets
think he
the
looked
knockout.
great in his last fight.
He didn't. No, he didn't look that great.
I just
but
don't think Kaiwen Louis. He got the finish in the end, but
Nakamura's face is just very deceiving. It makes him look like he's got nothing going for him, but he's
he
actually
does look a bit beta, but
he looks like a baby, but he's actually quite dangerous. So
looks a bit soy. But yeah,
I'm going to trust in it. I'm going
Maybe
to
that's
trust in the
Solskjaer,
danger, and Nakamura by knockout is what I'm going with here. So we're both agreeing on that one.
Absolutely the same. Yeah.
To the co-main event of the night now. This one, in my head, the explanation for it's pretty simple. So it all comes down to level of competition faced, and I think Terrance Saeteurn has faced better competition, and he's not coming off a loss in his last fight. So that's how I see it. What about you?
Look, I think Saeteurn wins. I think he has a much higher ceiling than Tumba. Like, we already know this Tumendemberel guy's ceiling, right? I mean, he lost on decision to Carlos Hernandez, which is, let's be real, that's a pretty low ceiling.
He's can level. That's bottom of the barrel UFC level.
Yeah, no, that is literally the cans of cans in UFC. So I think, we already know his level. We know he's not good enough. And at the end of the day, Satan's only loss in his whole professional career comes to an 8-0 pro.
No, yeah.
Literally an 8-0 pro, still undefeated. Like, he could be the real deal as well. So I've went for Saeteurn probably by finish, to be honest. I genuinely think he can finish this guy. I think he's just, we don't know what his ceiling's like yet. Whereas Tumendemberel, we know his ceiling's just quite low. But I think Saeteurn could be a real prospect in this sport, and if he gets a win here, then he looks good for his career. So
yeah.
Give me Saeteurn by finish.
I agree, and I also have one more thing onto it. I think the eye test is saying many things right now.
Absolutely.
You have one just absolute wrecking ball of a man. Then you have Tumendemberel. Like 2 different people. That's what I'm seeing right now, and yeah, I'll go Saeteurn by whatever he wants. Really, I think he wins this fight. Go on to the main event of the afternoon. Ming versus Bruna, Brazil. I'll let you start off with this one.
Well, main event. And to be honest, I think it's probably my favourite underdog of the whole night. Give me Ming.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, she's in her home country. She went 1-0 in UFC. Literally got cut for probably no reason, really. Very harsh cut.
I don't think she's actually been cut.
I mean, look at Bruna.
I think it was a myth.
Does she not?
No, I think it was a myth.
Well, why is she on the road to?
No, because this is just.
Why is she on the road to the UFC?
There's a disclaimer saying this is actually just a UFC fight, but it's been put on the card.
Really?
I don't know why, but it's just been put here as a random fight.
I don't know. Either way, she's 1-0 in UFC. Bruna, Brazil. Her only 2 wins in UFC come to Molly McCann and Shauna Bannon. I mean, it's not really comp that. I think Ming is better than Molly McCann and Shauna Bannon put together, to be honest. I think Ming just. I think she's got a good finishing potential for a woman as well, to be honest. And Bruna Brazil is one of the most inconsistent females I've ever seen in the sport. I would never trust her ever to win a fight. So, give me Ming, and honestly, I won't even be surprised if she gets a finish, but I'm going to say by decision, but I will not be shocked if she subbed or knocked out Bruna Brazil in this fight.
Bruna Brazil is just consistently shit, that's how I see it. I mean, she's beat 2 bottom feeders,
Yeah.
and every time she comes against someone alright, she loses, so... She claims
Yeah, but,
fighting
I wouldn't
merits
call-
as well, but
like,
she's
yeah,
not. She's
I
not
agree.
one of those. But
Yeah, she's not.
yeah, no, I think the doctor being a 2-1 underdog is kind of criminal, to be honest. But she's younger. She's
Yeah, I think she should be a favourite.
better momentum. She's a better fighter. She's just on the rise as well. She's in her home country as well, so take that as you will. But I think fighters fight a lot better when they're fighting in front of the home crowd. So yeah, I'll go with Ming Shi by probably decision in this fight. Maybe she'll find a knockout or something, but I'll just stick with decision because it is a women's fight at the end of the day. But yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
But that is all the fights. That's the main event. So yeah, that's about it.